I'm turning 31 next week, and I wanted to make this video as a reminder to my people who are in their 20s that they aren't behind. So here are a couple things that I learned in my 20s that I appreciate now that I'm now entering my 30s. Well, I guess I spent 1 year in my 30s. As I continue to be in my 30s. Number one, I'm glad I just tried things. I went from a nanofiber company as a graphic designer to a design boutique doing branding to an advertising company doing production. I created music videos. I got to travel everywhere. I got to be freelance. I quit my 9-to-5 really early on in my career. I only had 2 years under my belt as a full-time employee, and then I quit. I decided to do this freelance thing and contracting full-time. I was shooting music videos, documentaries. I got to go places that I never thought I would go to. I got to do what I love, essentially, and get paid for it. But little did I know that also in my 20s, I met a woman, I got married, had a kid at my last year of my 20s, but I had a kid. And all those things led into one another from all the decisions that I made. And I feel like my whole 20s was chasing something that I ended up not even getting, but it put me in a better position. So half of it, I'm very proud of myself for putting myself in uncomfortable positions and just trying new things. The other half is like, okay, I had ego, a huge ego, and my main driver was money and success. I'm not who I thought I was going to be, but I ended up being who I knew I was. If that makes sense, that's kind of word salad. Let me put it this way. I wasn't successful in the right that I thought I would be as a 22-year-old kid. I thought I would be like, you know what I'm saying, shooting big music videos, name in headlights. I wasn't. I also thought I was gonna have like serious money, you know what I'm saying, like from doing what I was doing. Of course, that didn't come into fruition, but in a sense, I still view myself as successful because I am. I have a wife, I have a kid, I have a salary job right now that I didn't even think I'd get paid that much, you know what I mean, from a job. But I only have those things because of the journey that I took in my 20s. So if we go back to creativity and my jobs and careers, the only reason I'm at the job I have, I work at an agency as a lead creator and I get paid a pretty good salary in my eyes. And I'm fully remote and I like the job, right? I'm only able to work that job because I said yes to a lot of things in my 20s. I said yes to the documentary I wasn't sure if I could shoot. I said yes to every single music video that I could shoot. I said yes to all the contracts I can get. I contracted with multiple agencies. I said yes to content creation, where I was a full-time creator, like on TikTok, for 2 years. I had brand deals, I had everything. But all those experiences that I put myself in and all those situations that I put myself in led me to a job that was way above what I could have even expected to have when I was in my 20s. In my 20s, I was like, no, I never have a 9-to-5, me. I say all that to say, if you're in your 20s, say yes to as much as you can. Get as many experiences as you can, because you don't know where they will lead you, and it could come full circle in 10 years when you're 30. I thought I was lost the whole time until I turned 29. And I was like, oh, I've had all these experiences for this right here. In my 20s, I thought I couldn't get a job because I didn't have those titles and I didn't have that experience. Reminding you, I've only had a full-time job for 2 years out of the 10 years that I've been out of college, or 9 years that I've been out of college. I got a leading job out of the 2 years experience that I have of actual full-time working, which is insane to me. The next thing, if you're in your 20s, this is something I'm still working on. Don't get me wrong, this is something I'm still working on. But if you're in your 20s, please believe in your abilities and in yourself. If you have proven to yourself that you can do anything, trust that. When I said earlier where I was like, I didn't make that $1 million that I thought I could have or whatever, there was 2 specific times within my freelancing journey that I probably could have. I'm gonna talk about one of them. In my content creation era, I had opportunities come to me, right? One was to be a full-time creator, right? And I was. But I have a habit of ruining things because I have low self-esteem, or not even low self-esteem, low self-confidence in my abilities. What I mean by that is, in that era, I was creating videos and everybody kept on coming to me. oh, I love your memes. I love your memes. I love the memes. I'm like, I'm more than a meme. A meme maker. You know, this is at the time I wanted to be a cinematographer, a director, and be regarded as this high up status, whatever. And my ego would not allow me. So I switched up my content to be more of teaching and informational. Those memes took me far, I'm not gonna lie. And I could have really big accounts with just those memes, but I switched it, which was a great idea anyways. So I switched it to education type videos. Blew up, was getting all types of brand deals. And then I completely cut it off because I was like, look, this is great being a content creator and all, but again, I want to be taken seriously. I don't want to be known as the guy who just makes educational content on TikTok. I see now that I could have used that as a rock or as a foundation to do things later on in life. I could have used the money I was making then and there as a catalyst for the work I wanted to do later on, which would have funded the gear, would have funded productions of my own, would have funded the building, the studio, etc. You know, I'm still disappointed in myself from that era, but I'm glad that I passed it and whatever, and I'm working on it again. At the root of it all was that I, one, did not believe in myself. Two, I had an ego, so I didn't want to be known for that. I was like, ew, no, I want to be known as this real deal filmmaker. Look, 8 years later, 6 years later, whatever it is, I'm not even doing math. 6 years later, I'm not doing any of that, and I have no interest in doing it. You know what I mean? Once I lost that sense of wanting to be something, wanting to make something of myself, which I still have in a different way, I realized that I was using cameras and filmmaking and music videos as an excuse to put myself on a pedestal. I wasn't really doing it for the art necessarily. It is very rewarding to see what you make and watching it come to life with the camera, but I wasn't really doing it for that. I was doing it to make a lot of money. You know what I mean? And now that I have a healthier view of that, I'm like, okay, what I actually do enjoy is making content. I wouldn't say it's my art. My art is back there. My art is what I create on the daily. I had to create these boxes for myself to put myself in so that I don't go crazy. I have my art box. I have my full 9-to-5 job box. I have my content box where I'm doing it as a release. You know what I mean? I don't do this as an art. I do this to find community. I do this so I can help somebody. I do this to get stuff off my chest. You know what I mean? I'm a ranter. I rant on camera, essentially. That was a big lesson that I'm still dealing with today. And again, I say all that to say, hey, if you're in your 20s, losing your ego doesn't mean lose your confidence. Figure out what losing your ego means to you and work around it. Believe in yourself. Have the confidence to go for what you want 100%, but make sure that you're not doing it for some fulfillment of an internal void. Do it for you, your art, do it for you and your mental health. Do it for you and your passions, but just make sure you're doing it for a healthier reason than to get money in your pocket or to buy the next pair of shoes or whatever it is, because it does lead down to a very disappointing path. And I'm telling you from experience. Number 3, you need other people. And this is, again, something I struggle with to this day, but me realizing it in my 30s is something I wish I did in my 20s. So you need community. You need people. At my early 20s, I believed I needed nobody. And it's not true. I need people. I need a community. I struggle with relationships with other people just because of, I don't know, how I was raised, what I saw, getting disappointed in different aspects of my life. When you're in your 20s is going to be the time where you realize everybody has issues, everybody has problems, everybody's living their unique life, and nobody's going to be as concerned about your life as you are. You know what I mean? So like those friends, reach out to them, just text them, just call them. You know, it's not that big of a deal. Go get that coffee, go hang out with your family, go XYZ. It's really important to have some type of fulfillment with other relationships so that you can have a feeling of inclusion. I've been alone. I mean, despite, I'm not including like my wife and kid or whatever, but I've been alone in a void for the longest. And it's to a point to where I don't know how to relate to other people. I don't know how to talk to them. And it's a thing to where you need those relationships to further your own life as well. I'm talking about in like a spiritual sense, but I'm also talking in an actual like career sense or something, you know? Like, if you are the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. And usually, like for me, for example, I'm the only one in the room because I secluded myself. So what are you gonna learn? How are you gonna further yourself as a person? How are you gonna do anything? You're not, because you're the only person in the room. Now, if you're in your comfort zone and you're around a bunch of people from high school or whatever the case may be, again, you might be in the wrong room. If you have a passion or if you have a goal in mind, it's important for you to reach out to these other people who have that same goal, that same ambition, passions, whatever it is. Talk to them. How can y'all not use each other, but use each other's knowledge? You know what I mean? Like, what experiences have y'all gone through that you haven't went through and that you don't want to go through? Talk about it. It's those type of things that further you as a person, further you in your career, further you spiritually, mentally, everything. And I'm not saying I haven't like talked to nobody. That's not true. I feel like I don't have any deep relationships with people is what I mean, because I push that away once it gets to a certain point. But I've learned so much from the people around me, and I'm very grateful for everybody who reaches out to me. I'm grateful for my day one friends. I'm grateful for the people I just met. I'm grateful for everybody. But in your 20s, it's really important to have those relationships and know for a fact that you cannot do any of this alone. And if anybody says you can, they're lying. You can do a lot on your own, but you cannot do everything on your own. So reach out to people, get those relationships, make sure that you are putting in as much as you can so that people can put out onto you. Last one I'm gonna leave you with is trust. In my 20s, I've learned to trust. And I'm using that as a very big word. Broad trust. Trust in yourself, trust in other people, trust in the process. There's nothing like looking back at all the decisions you've made that changed your life for the good or bad. And you just have to trust that it'll work out. In my 20s, I questioned everything to the point of overthinking and not doing sometimes. And then you look back and you're like, I wonder what it would have been like if I did do it. You have to have radical trust in the process. You have to have radical trust in yourself. You have to put radical trust into other people sometimes. If your gut is telling you not to, don't. If your intuition is saying, this might be a trap, you know, it's probably a trap. You have to trust other people. You have to trust yourself. You have to trust the process. It's the same thing with creativity. Once you put a mark on a page, you have to trust that you can finish the rest of that painting. The mark is just one mark, but once you put 1,000 marks on it, it becomes an image. It becomes a piece of art. It becomes something, right? Same with your life. You do one action, that's just an action. But you do 1,000 of those actions, it becomes a decision. It becomes a moment of your life. You know what I mean? And I think that's really important to look back on and reflect on when you're in your 30s. Because again, I can look back at every moment and be like, oh, wow. The reason I am the way I am today is because I made that small decision when I was 22. Where I'm at today is all because I picked up a camera. All of this is because I trusted my professor and he told me to reach out to XYZ person. And that's true. It's true. Everything is tied to one single moment in your life. I have a kid right now just because I was on Tinder. Weird life. Was doing it for fun and now I have a kid. Cool. It's insane. And it's something that you shouldn't take lightly because it changes your life. It's your life. And again, I say that all to say, if you're in your 20s, have trust in what you're doing today. Have trust on the decision you keep on thinking about from yesterday. Have trust that your future will work out if you keep on having the vision and the goal in mind, because I really do believe that it does. If y'all want to keep up with me, please subscribe, leave a comment of how you're feeling. Did any of these relate to you in any type of way? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like. I appreciate y'all so much, and I'll see y'all in the next one.